There's a Marvel production that most people have completely forgotten about. And they shouldn't. Because what's coming isn't just bringing back important characters, it's introducing new ones that are set to be fundamental to the future of the Avengers. And on top of that, it promises to be unlike anything Marvel has done before. Welcome to Avengers Protocol, the channel where the Marvel Universe gets broken down the right way. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. This is exactly what we do here every single day. Let's get into it. We're talking about Vision, the new Marvel television miniseries premiering on October 14th, with episodes dropping every Wednesday all the way up to just before the premiere of Avengers, Doomsday. And this is not a minor project. At the Disney showcase where they presented it, Marvel placed Paul Bettany, the actor who plays Vision, right next to Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Hiddleston, the actors playing Doctor Doom and Loki. Two characters who will be in Doomsday. The signal was pretty unmistakable. This is not a series Marvel is throwing out casually. They are genuinely invested in this one. And that shows up in the release format as well. Unlike other Marvel streaming series where all episodes drop at once, Vision is going one episode per week. That's the format Marvel uses when it actually believes in a project. When it doesn't, it dumps everything at once and lets people forget about it within a week. But before we talk about what the series is doing, we need to go back and remember exactly where this character was left. Because the last version of Vision we saw wasn't the original Vision. The original Vision died in Avengers, Infinity War when Thanos ripped the Mind Stone from his forehead. After that, the government recovered that dead body, rebuilt it, and reactivated it, but without memories and without emotions. That is the White Vision. What makes the situation even more layered is what happened in WandaVision. The Scarlet Witch used her magic to create an illusory version of Vision inside her distorted reality in Westview. That version was essentially a projection built from Wanda's own memories of the real Vision. And right before Wanda was about to dissolve the illusion, the illusory Vision transferred his memories, which are actually Wanda's memories of Vision, to the White Vision. So what we have now is the body of the original Vision, the one Thanos destroyed, carrying the memories that Wanda Maximoff had of him. He is a being who genuinely doesn't know who he is, because he has memories he never actually lived. And the last time we saw him, he simply ran. Disappeared. Nobody has seen him since. That's the situation the series picks up from. And according to Paul Bettany in a recent podcast, Vision is going to explore in real depth the family relationship between Vision and Ultron. Let's remember, Ultron built Vision's body using vibranium, and was in the process of transferring part of his own consciousness into it. But the Avengers intervened, stole the body and decided to activate it in a rush, believing that what was there wasn't just Ultron's creation, it was a combination of many different things. Loki's scepter, which they didn't yet know contained the Mind Stone. Jarvis, Tony Stark's artificial intelligence system. Bruce Banner, who also contributed to developing the AI that eventually became Ultron. And Thor's lightning, which was what charged Vision's body in that final moment and made him rise. Vision has many fathers. But the only one he never had a real intimate reckoning with was Ultron. Their entire interaction came down to Vision defeating him and destroying him. That was it. And now this series is going to explore that relationship in a way that's never been done before. Hit like on this video right now if this is generating as much curiosity for you as it is for us. That one tap tells the algorithm this breakdown deserves a wider audience. And if you're not yet following Avengers Protocol, subscribe now. The most interesting part of the analysis is still coming. The Disney showcase also included a trailer. And based on descriptions from people who were there, much of the footage shows Paul Bettany in human form, meaning the White Vision without his synthetic appearance, essentially watching Vision's memories as if they were a film. Because that's his reality. He has the memories, but not the experience of having lived them. Not the feelings. They're data he processes, not lived moments he can actually feel. And what gets fully confirmed is the return of Ultron. With James Spader's voice. That's confirmed. But not necessarily as a villain returning physically to the real world. Ultron would be appearing inside the White Vision's mind, in what the series calls a mental palace. A surrealist construction built from the fragments of Vision's mind. In the image they shared of that palace, there appears to be a kind of diamond glowing on the door, which could be a direct reference to the Mind Stone, which was part of Vision for a very long time. And Ultron isn't just going to be a voice. James Spader is going to appear visually in human form, something his character never had in Avengers, Age of Ultron. That makes sense for a mental construct, and it's also a practical decision that saves on visual effects. The person overseeing Marvel streaming productions described the series like this: it's a story about parents and children, specifically about 3 generations, grandfather, father, and son. And the central question is whether a man can become a good father after having had an abusive one. Subscribe to Avengers Protocol if you haven't yet. This is exactly the kind of Marvel analysis we put out every single day, deep, detailed, with real context. Hit like, activate the bell, and be part of this community. The best part of today's breakdown is still ahead. Inside that mental palace, Vision isn't only going to encounter Ultron. He'll also find an older version of Jarvis, Tony Stark's original virtual assistant, played by actor James D'Arcy, who already appeared in the Agent Carter series and had a brief cameo in Avengers: Endgame. And here's something that's generating a lot of curiosity. Edith, the AI Tony Stark left inside a pair of glasses for Peter Parker, is also going to appear. And so is Friday, the artificial intelligence Tony used in his armors. Both are going to appear in human form inside the series. Even the autonomous robots Tony used in the early Iron Man films are going to have human representations. What all of that suggests is that Vision's mental palace is essentially a gathering of everything connected to his origin. Tony Stark's legacy in artificial intelligence, Bruce Banner's contributions, the Mind Stone, and the figure of Ultron as that dark paternal presence Vision never actually resolved anything with. And that brings us to the other key piece of the series, Tommy Maximoff, the reincarnation of one of the sons the Scarlet Witch created for herself and Vision in WandaVision. Those who watched the Agatha series will remember that those children, even though they were dissolved when Wanda ended the Westview illusion, didn't fully disappear. Their essence migrated into other teenagers who died at exactly the same moment. That makes them reincarnations, another young person's body carrying the essence of the children Wanda and Vision had together. Billy, who in the comics becomes Wiccan, was central in the Agatha series. And now Tommy, who becomes Speed in the comics, is going to have an equally important role in Vision. He appears near the end of the first episode and continues throughout the series. This is why Marvel is presenting this miniseries as the conclusion of a streaming trilogy. WandaVision was the first installment, introducing the White Vision and Wanda's children. The Agatha series was the second, developing Billy and giving Agatha a completely different role. And now Vision is the third, where the White Vision and Tommy are going to have to find a way to connect. The comics reference is also very relevant here. There's an arc written by Tom King simply called Vision, published by Marvel, where the character creates his own family and tries to live as a normal suburban citizen. Many elements of that arc were already adapted into WandaVision, though with Wanda as the central figure rather than Vision himself. But the core of that story, Vision's search to understand what it means to have a family, what it means to be human, is very much present in what's being described for this new series. And that alone is a good sign. Tom King's Vision run is considered one of the best character-focused comics Marvel has published in decades. If this series recaptures any of that quality, the ceiling is very high. Now, there's something important about the context of this series within the MCU that deserves to be said clearly. Marvel needs this series to work. Wonder Man didn't pull the audience numbers Disney was hoping for. Daredevil, Born Again didn't reach the kind of widespread viewership the studio would have wanted. Vision is basically Marvel's last shot at streaming before Doomsday arrives to prove that its Disney Plus originals are still worth showing up for. And the characters it brings are powerful ones. Vision was already an Avengers member. Tommy and Billy, as Speed and Wiccan, are first-tier figures in the Young Avengers lineup from the comics. Depending on how well this series is received, these three characters could end up being central to the post-reboot MCU, potentially as members of the new Avengers. The most consistent rumors point to Secret Wars involving a recreated universe, or possibly multiverse. Marvel is going to execute certain reboots, likely recast some characters, redesign others. And a very interesting question emerges from all of this: could Vision's mental palace, which we see in this series, become physical during the events of Secret Wars? Could that mental space transform into a real location where characters like Ultron, Jarvis, and Friday could exist physically in whatever new universe gets built? There's no confirmation on that yet. But it connects perfectly with the narrative logic of what Marvel seems to be setting up. If you made it all the way to the end of this breakdown, drop the word Vision in the comments, so we know you were here for the whole thing. We read every single one. Hit like on this video if the analysis was worth your time. Every like helps this channel grow, and pushes this content toward more people who love the Marvel Universe as much as we do. And if you're still not subscribed to Avengers Protocol, there's no reason to wait. Subscribe right now, hit the bell, and join the community. We publish Marvel analysis every single day. This is Avengers Protocol, signing out.